The following podcast contains adult language. Listener discretion is advised. I don't know. I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
That got cut off.
I was trying to do a long but I think echo cancellation went. Oh, he's having a stroke. I better filter that.
Yeah, it's either the noise gate or the echo cancellation, or the noise gate mixed with the echo cancellation.
The AI system's like, he didn't want that to get out. I'm gonna eat that for him.
Yep, it now belongs to Sam Altman.
Hey, friend, you said something unpleasant, so I filtered it. I made it sound like it dropped out, but give yourself a moment to think about what you just said.
Fuck you, AI. You're absolutely right. I should fuck me. Welcome to Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast, the only podcast to combine the subjects of gaming, tech, media, and puppets for no easily explainable reason. It is May 8th, 2026. You are the internet. I am Kevin Blades. My pronouns are he, him, and this is episode 9 of season 4 of Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast. Joining me is my co-host. His pronouns are he, him. It's Andrew, aka Bat Phantom.
And May 8th is one of those dates where when we list the date and like a British person sees what we write, they get it. They think it's like August the 5th.
Yeah.
And
it's
just,
also hard to say.
This is the worst time for it. It is.
May 8th. It wants to be one word. May 8th.
May 8th. Also, and even just, but they would say 8th May. Is that what they say? 8th May? 8th of May? The 8th of May.
You're making up a fake British.
I don't know now.
I promise. No,
dates have always kind of thrown me off in that way.
8th of May would be
8th of May.
Appropriate.
But they would definitely write it 8 May 2026.
Right, yeah.
But they would, when they say it out loud, I don't think they would say 8 May. It's 8 May.
No.
8 May sounds like a really fucked up holiday.
It would be. It would be like one of those medieval holidays where it's like the saint of the day of Saint Cuthbert of
8 May, when we eat raisins and milk. Don't forget to let your raisins soak in the milk for 8 May. 8 May. I can't even remember my own shit.
Maybe have a new sonnet for 8 May.
A sonnet when I drink my raisins and milk for 8 May.
God. Anyway, we're remote if you can't tell already. Because Andrew's still recovering from a cold or something.
Yeah, just end stage. I mean, it's pretty much gone at this point.
We're just playing it safe.
I don't want to give you the thing at the end of the thing. Don't want to give you that hantavirus. Hantavirus. We doing that again? We're doing a fresh one. We got a fresh one. You kids miss COVID?
I don't know why you're doing the the Poconos comedian here.
Sometimes it works. It's very close to Teddy from Bob's Burgers. Bob, we got the hantavirus now.
There's a Simpsons reference to the fucking hantavirus, okay?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, hantavirus is one of the. It's such a comedic word.
It's a good punchline.
It also sounds like Bugs Bunny. Hantavirus. But yeah, it's gonna kill us all, and that's fine. It's good. Bring it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. At this point, really.
One post somebody made earlier. It was a reference. Somebody had said this in like 2020, and they were at a conference and they overheard somebody say, this is not great, but what you really want is for hantavirus to go human to human. Then we're fucked.
Surprise!
Like, nice. Everything's fine.
Oh yeah, everything's so.
I was going to mention this before the thing, and I'm like, no, I'll mention it during the podcast.
Okay, mention it during the podcast.
I mean, it's kind of Gizmo Towny, but I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah.
Double Fine is unionizing.
Oh.
It's always nice when groups unionizing becomes a thing.
They're owned by Microsoft now, right?
They are owned by Microsoft. What I'm noticing happening these days is people say we're unionizing, and then the company they work for says, no,
Yeah.
no,
Anyway, we don't own you
no.
anymore. Nobody owns you. We sold
Yeah.
you. You're
Some
for sale.
that came up recently. Who was it? Somebody had unionized and like, yeah, we're unionized. And the company just said, no,
I know exactly what you're
no.
talking about. I cannot remember who, but yes, that
I think it's a Hollywood thing.
a couple of times recently that's happened.
Good for you. It's good that you guys have a friend group, but no.
A friend group.
Yeah, no, that's cool. You guys get your own little Slack chat and all that. You can talk shit about us. That's fine. We don't acknowledge your existence, and that's great. You guys do what you got to do.
We feel that you should have a one-to-one relationship with this giant faceless corporation. You know,
Yeah.
you should be able to talk to us like people, so we can ignore you like people.
It's in conjunction with the Communications Workers of America. I mean, I'm a steel worker, which
sorry.
is kind of hilarious. I mean, I'm in a union, and it's the Steelworkers Union.
That's fucking awesome.
I am not building. I'm not working the friggin'.
You're not working the tall iron.
No, I'm not hitting the rivet gun to build up the.
You don't have to admit that. You can just claim it. You can just say you are.
I am. I'm a steelworker. I pay the fucking dues. I'm definitely no question of that.
Why aren't you riding that as far as you can? My God, I would.
Well, I mean, again, everything's a Simpsons reference, but what was it? The
gay steelworkers?
Oh no. It was like steelworkers, pastry chefs, and nuclear technicians of America or something. Like and they even had a logo for it. It was beautiful. But no, I want everybody should be unionized, and more people are realizing they should be unionized, and more companies are going, go fuck yourself. And it's important that the workers go, yeah, that's fine. You can tell us to go fuck ourselves, but also we're going away now.
Yeah,
and
we're
can run your own fucking business.
Fine, our own.
I'll hire my own workers from AI.
Yeah,
come on, boys.
That'll go well.
Sorry, how much is that? Like the fact that we're already at the point where they're realizing, oh shit, all those people we laid off and replaced with AI, we need to hire people back to fix the AI problems.
Yep, it's happening pretty fast. You know,
oh my lord, it was fast. Just fantastic. But unions are good. Please join a union, everybody.
Please, if you can. If there is one, you can join or make a new one. Just be there's no real other choice now. Like,
no,
just do it.
Because they think they have the power. I mean, again, Simpsons, the Lisa's singing her song,
classical gas. You gotta get out there with the classical gas.
But it's true, they got the power, and there's only so much they can do, and if people actually stick together, then shit happens when you've got a fucking union. So it's good. It's good that more companies are doing it. In the WWE in wrestling, I know I like to throw wrestling in there, but they recently.
You just want something that I can't give any kind of response to.
It's no. This is a union thing. This is
okay.
They recently last week they let go of a bunch of wrestlers, which they do after WrestleMania historically. But
I never even thought about like wrestler layoffs. That's
my God,
such a weird concept to me.
In many cases, they're just not, their contracts aren't renewed, but they basically will get let go after WrestleMania. It happens every year. This year's was a particularly large group, and a couple of people were big surprises. They were fairly beloved talent that would have been expected to retire eventually as lifetime members, but it came down to they asked a bunch of talent to take a pay cut. Like there was one tag team in particular, again, that was beloved by fans, and they were on year 2 of a 5-year contract, and they were told, you got to take a 50% pay cut, and they went, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So, why? Because all that Saudi money is going away? I don't think so.
I mean, this is because they're owned by TKO now, which is the company that owns the UFC, and they basically just decided, for our shareholders' benefit, we need to trim the fat and really thin out the ranks.
Stock number go up.
And they a lot of at least a couple of talent accepted it. They said, all right, I guess I'll take a pay cut. I mean, how the fuck do you show up for work the next day after you're told you're no longer, you don't have the worth that you did when we set up this contract with you? This fucking contract, which is set to
Yeah,
determine
what's the
how much
point of a
they're gonna pay
contract then,
you.
right?
Exactly. So it's just fucking amazing. And they still have a 90-day no compete, so you can't immediately go to the competition. You gotta basically just sit on your ass for three months.
That shit should be illegal, straight
Oh,
up.
it largely should be, yeah, but they make sure that they get it all in writing, and they're very evil about it. Anyway, it's there was years ago, Jesse Ventura tried to unionize the wrestlers, and Hulk Hogan ratted him out to Vince McMahon, and
I understood at least some of that sentence.
yeah, well, the governor Jesse Ventura,
Yeah, yeah.
who he tried to set up a union in the '80s in the WWF at the time. And the big boy Hogan, who was the champion, ratted him out to the owner and said, "These guys are trying to unionize. You got to shut this down because I'm the highest paid guy here, and that won't be the case if we have to pay everybody." And it worked, and they cracked the whip, and everybody went, "Yes, sir. We're good, sir. No, no, thank you. We're good. We don't need to. We don't want to be a union, sir."
Newsflash: douchebag is gonna douchebag.
Well, fuck. I mean, in that world, it's another level above like football. Where football, players only have like 5 years
Yeah,
reasonable value in that world because it's so brutal. And wrestling is very similar. I mean, shit. Back then, you would have guys on the road literally 300 days a year. They were on the road, and they had no union. They were, in many cases, they were expected to pay for their own room and board while they were on. So they were paying their own fucking hotel money.
This is it's like carny rules.
Oh,
It's like,
extremely carny. It was extremely carny. I mean, Jesus, when I was in high school, they were coming to Halifax monthly, which is insane. There's no way they should be going to a place like Halifax every month, and considering they're all over.
nobody should be going to Halifax every month.
Exactly. So anyway, but they didn't, because they didn't have a union. Nobody was willing to stand up, and they got ridden hard, and Vince cashed a bunch of checks and laughed his ass off about how dumb everybody was. And then these guys would get horribly injured and doing their job, and then get in a car and drive for 4 hours to the next town, and then share a bed because they can't afford to pay for their own hotel room in some cases. And and they developed crippling lifetime addictions to painkillers because they weren't allowed to smoke weed. Honestly, I mean, that was another thing. Even as weed was becoming legal, they had a hard line against smoking weed. Here's your here's your fucking painkillers, which shouldn't be made available to you, but we'll fill you full of that. But don't you dare smoke weed.
And is somehow all of this congealed into RFK Jr.
Mm-hmm. His niece is actually a wrestler. Actually, I lied. She was trained as a wrestler, but now she got a job at the fucking WWE to become a referee. So, and it just so happens that she's the daughter, no, the niece of RFK Jr., who of course is good friends with Linda McMahon, the wife of Vince McMahon, who helped found the whole fucking company. So it's just nepotism bullshit, is like everything. Everything's
everything's this. Everything is this. All the things you just said is everything.
And if you don't unionize, it gets worse. So unionize.
That's the sum. The line at the bottom of the equation is fucking unionize, because
union now.
It's either union or that.
Yeah,
right?
Seriously.
That's the
if
lesson.
You don't have a voice as a group, then the man is going to just constantly step on your throat. And too many people are happy to lie down on the ground and expose themselves. Here you go, sir. I've been moisturizing to make my throat more comfortable for your boot.
Okay. Well, I don't. Man, should we try and go to coping mechanisms?
See you next week, everybody. Coping mechanisms. Oh man, boy, I have a coping mechanism right now.
We got some. So we both kind of struggled, I think, a little bit.
A little bit.
Find something for coping mechanism, but we did. We both got something in there. So this is coping mechanism, where we talk about what has either distracted, inspired, or uplifted us in the past 2 weeks. And for me, and this is poignant because next week, actually a week today, I will be going to see a band I've talked about a couple times before. Bloodywood is coming to Toronto. And I'm very pleased, and we have tickets, and we're going to go see them. And there was a post recently on the Bloodywood subreddit because, of course, the boys are on tour right now. And they're touring America, which is like, you know, everybody. And there were a few posts on the Bloodywood subreddit that was like, are they going to be okay? Is this going to be all right? Because
to quote Walter White, tread lightly.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. It wasn't from the guys. It was from the audience. It was from the fans.
No, exactly. They're
the fans were going like, "Is this okay? I think are the guys going to be?" And the first post when they got to America, the first thing that they posted was like, everything's been great. The people have been lovely. Everyone's been welcoming, and it's like, okay, phew, okay. Like they haven't run into ice yet, thankfully. So
everything's great until it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so they're gonna be here next week, and there was a post in the Bloodywood subreddit recently from a 30-ish-year-old woman who was saying that she had a ticket to go. She didn't have anybody to go with, and she was just kind of like she loves Bloodywood, and she wanted to sort of just get like a sounding of like, okay, I'm a woman going alone to a metal show. She's been to a few before, but she was still a little bit like, you know, what's the vibe? It was like a vibe check, right? Like, am I going to be okay? Is everything cool? Is like, what's up? And the overwhelming response was like, all right, here's the thing. They're touring. Two of the bands are touring with are female fronted. So basically she wanted to know, like, what's the female representation of the crowd like? A legit concern. And just like, you know, what's the kind of like, she says she's getting older, so she's not a mosh pit kind of person, but she still wants to get up close to the band. So what's the deal? Like, what's, you know, going on? She got tons of great advice, and like everybody was like, okay, first of all, we're talking about Bloodywood. I mean, my introduction to the band was the song Donna Don, which is an anti-rape culture song. This is very representative of their entire fan base, right? Like, they're not going to attract a creeper fan base with a song as potent as Donna Don as one of their, like, you know, mainline hits. So yeah, the vibe is pretty good. In fact, one of the people was telling a story about how like there was one guy at one show who was like being a kind of a hitting on all the chicks creep, and like a bunch of the crowd got together and all reported him to security, and security escorted the guy out. He didn't actually do anything. He was just like bugging a bunch of women. That's it. He didn't do anything more than that, other than just like hitting on every woman he saw, and he got escorted out of the venue. It's like,
made a lot of people uncomfortable.
This is it. This is what we want. That's
the vibe check.
This is the good thing. So it was lovely. At the end of it, she did like a sort of follow up, like edit post. This is awesome. That's great. I'll go. I'll hang out on the side. I'll hang out with people. I'll say hi. The crowd is super friendly. Everybody is super positive. It's nothing but good vibes. So I am so looking forward to this. This is going to be awesome. So
they're a band that definitely has a very positive fan base, like, which is great.
Aggressively positive. This is the funny thing. It's like we're pissed at the people who are assholes. We're like doing something about it, right? That's the thing. That's what inspires me about Bloodywood. So there we go. There's my coping mechanism. I can link to the post on the subreddit. So
tickets are still available for the show at the Danforth. If you're
they're not many actually. They're almost sold out. They've been selling out pretty good.
There are still floors.
Are there still floors? Yeah, we got the balcony because like we're old. And in fact, when I had actually posted just after we got tickets on the subreddit, and there was like another guy that's like, yeah, I'm old too. I got the balconies. We're sitting down, baby. I'll see you there. Right? Like we're in the balconies. We got seats. We got like
support bands.
Yeah. It's the System of a Brown tour. Which is like just glorious. Yeah. So anyway,
or Ladrones and The Pretty Wild.
The Pretty Wild, yeah. That's one of the female-fronted bands. So, yeah, the one's from Mexico. I can't remember where the other two are from. But, it's a real diverse group there. And so, yeah, we're pleased. We're happy. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, and Encore is a Spanish alternative metal band.
Spanish, that's right. Yeah.
Catalonia.
Yep.
There you go.
What you got?
I usually will throw a YouTuber in here, and I've done that again. Is a host, one of the main host of a channel called Buy Food, which is actually it's a website where you can book tours and restaurant experiences in Japan,
Ooh.
and the host of those is Shizuka Anderson, who is Japanese Canadian
I
presenter,
was
and
gonna say, with a name like that.
yeah, she is well. First of all, she's stunning, but it's not just that. She's also an incredibly positive, vibrant person. Like her energy is just amazing, and she does such a great job as a host. Like she's
Hmm.
ideal in so many ways, and she's so engaged in what she's doing in these videos, and she's able to have these amazing experiences, and you can really feel it with her. She never feels artificial. She always feels genuine.
Hmm.
Um, and just like I said, it's her energy that's amazing, and the buy food stuff is great. And she's had a few she's done TV stuff for NHK,
Oh yeah.
so she's starting to get quite the profile. But she's got her own channel now on YouTube where she's doing her own vlogging stuff with her partner, and she was the the host for Canada at the was it the World's Fair? Is that what they still call it?
In Knoxville, Tennessee.
Expo. Yeah, no, Expo.
The
That
Wing Sphere.
Expo was in Osaka this year,
All right.
and so the international there's pavilions from all over the world, and she was the Canadian rep. So she hosted a bunch of events there. She did some vlogging from that, which was really quite fascinating. But yeah, I'd highly recommend her work on YouTube, and her buy food channel is on there as well. And as I say, she hosts most of the videos on that channel, but it's not those aren't hers. What the her own channel, obviously, it's just her vlogging. But anyway, yeah, it gives me great joy to watch her present, and that always makes me want to enter a portal and appear in Japan immediately.
I would
uh,
love to go to Japan. I wish. I mean, I
mm,
don't think I'll ever get there, but that would be lovely. I would love to.
yeah, so that's my coping mechanism.
Very good. Okay, I think we're going to take a quick fake break, and we will be back with the Puppet Pit.
You have entered an alternate dimension, a dimension of fleece and fur, of foam and industrial adhesives, so I hope you have good ventilation. A signpost up ahead. Watch your step. You have just stumbled into the Puppet Pit.
Welcome to the Puppet Pit, where we talk about the puppet side of Operation Puppet for the last 2 weeks. And there's been exactly 2 builds, so good.
One build per week.
1 build per week. The first one was, somebody asked me 2 weeks ago, yes, I've done the legally distinct celebrity amphibian, but have I ever done a legally distinct celebrity amphibian's nephew? So I actually had planned to do a Robin at some point. Robin is fairly simple. In fact, Robin is more simple than Kermit, and Robin is actually kind of a modified Kermit. So I was like, yeah, I'm
Don't
Robin.
be Kermit.
Robin's kind of easy, actually. So I did that. That was the first one I did, and it turned out pretty good. I want to do some alterations for the next iteration of it. I will say it does look like Robin, but it is also legally distinct. So the legally distinct celebrity nephew is currently up on the shop, available. And this week, I wasn't even sure I was going to get a build done this week. This is I'm going to like big myself up a little bit here because I had a pretty busy week for reasons we will discuss next. Next. Yes. But so I had 2 days to do build work this week. And I set for myself the task of doing a build that normally takes 4 days. And goddamn, I did it. So there is new Live Hands Blink Mech Monster up on the shop. Just went up today. Very, very pink. Like extremely pink. Like frighteningly infra pink.
It's pink as fuck.
It's pink as fuck. And there's the podcast title. It's pink as fuck is pretty good, actually. Yeah. So yeah, there is a new. It's the Blink Mech. It's Live Hands. It's a monster. It's everything. I mean, they usually sell. And it's very, very pink. So it's now currently available. Actually not next. I lied. Next is, maybe we will do this next. I'm going to switch up the order of things.
Please do.
Because we should talk about why I only had 2 build days this week. Well, it's happened, folks. The thing has happened that we knew was going to happen, and I've talked about it a few times, so it's not really a surprise. But things are not good in puppet selling world for pretty obvious reasons. I mean, it's literally the cost of living crisis that is the problem. People are struggling to buy groceries. They're not buying puppets. So, things are a little tight around here. And this has been the first month wherein what I brought in from the shop has been nowhere near enough to cover my basic needs.
What you need to do is sell to billionaires.
I mean, you know what? Turns out billionaires have no fucking taste, so they don't like puppets.
Touche.
I bet you Elon's afraid of puppets. I'm guarantee you Elon is afraid of puppets. We want to take down Elon. I have a plan. It's puppets.
Yeah, it probably would work, actually.
It would definitely work. Anyway.
Tell him it's got ketamine.
Yeah. He would think they're real. Anyway. So yeah, what I had, this was the week, or this was the month. I mean, technically this was the month. This was literally the worst sales month since I started the business. It's been pretty bleak. So I need to, now, the good news is, before I go into any of this, the good news is Operation Puppet isn't going anywhere. The business is continuing. It's not dead. It's just really, really slow. Mm-hmm. So there's no reason to shut it down because there's still activity there. It's just greatly reduced.
The product is strong. The demand is not.
Exactly. Well, this is the thing. And I've seen it like firsthand. People like going, wow, I love this. I wish I could buy it. Right. Like that's happened so many times, and it's just understandable. It's the state of the world that we're in right now. I as I've talked to it a couple of times before on this very podcast, I happened to coincidentally start Operation Puppet at exactly the right time, which was the pandemic, ironically enough. But, people were suddenly had more time. They were indoors. These people started hobbies and stuff. And the cost of living crisis hadn't quite started yet, right? So people still had some extra money lying around, and they had a lot of time, and they were bored as fuck. So they were all starting new hobbies. And now here's this guy making puppets. It was just a perfect storm for me to start that. And it has tapered off, and it's now to the point where it's tapered off so much that I am selling to the hardcore collectors, and I have a whole bunch of repeat clients and stuff, but even they are getting squeezed. So it's just not enough anymore. So I am starting to look for supplementary income. I'm looking for something part-time. This week I had my second appointment with an employment counselor because I'm 57. I'm going to be 58 this year, right? Like this is intimidating. And I got a resume that's 10 years out of date, right? So I don't know even where to even start on all of this stuff. So I've got some good advice. I have a new resume. I've got some ideas and plans. So I'm starting to look. But because of that, here's the relevant part to this part of the podcast. The build streams are currently on hold, and they have been for a while, just because I have no idea what my time is going to be like. And I need every second that I could possibly get for build time. And unfortunately, build streams always slow down my build time.
Yeah.
So at the moment they're on hold. Now they're not going away. I will say this. In fact, I didn't even put this in the show notes. I should remember to. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. I'll just put one note because the build streams are going to be back. And what they're going to be, at least for the short term, is I am continuing when I have the spare time, which is why I only had 2 days of build time, because I wanted to have a third day, which was today, to work on Ortis, the build that I'm doing for TennoCon, which is coming up. And we have talked about Ortis before. In fact, we talked about Ortis on the last podcast.
Yes.
There has been some developments. In fact, today was a day because I was able to do the Live Hands monster in 2 days. I had today to work on the Ortis build, and I had there was a good kind of milestone that I hit today because I figured out some of the internal construction for how the mouth plate is going to fit onto the head, and I am confident that there will be a version of Ortis that I will take to TennoCon. So that's the good news. The unknown factor at this point is I really, really want to do the eye mech where I can make his eyes swivel to go like happy or angry. That's key to the Ortis personality. If you don't know Ortis, that is a very important thing. Ortis kind of glitches out and goes a little psychotic every now and then. So I would like to do that for this Ortis puppet, but mechs are always very, very complicated, and so that's an unknown. But I can now say, at the very least, I will have a version of the Muppet Ortis puppet to take to TennoCon. Whether or not it's going to have the iMech is the question. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to get to the point where I've got a finished Ortis puppet that I can take to TennoCon. Then I'm going to make a second one, and we're going to tinker with the iMech and see if we can get that up to a point where I'm confident enough that it works well enough that I can take it to TennoCon. So that's the plan for the Ortis puppet. But it's going well. So far so good. Where else are we? I've moved things around and now I'm all confused. Hang on. I'm gonna shuffle the show notes here live as we're talking on the podcast, not having any dead air. Boom, I did it. Okay. So however, because of all this, I'm doing all the talking because, well, it's the puppet pit. So
it is the puppet.
Whew. Oh wait, I put that in the wrong place. Never mind. I'll fix it later. One of the interesting things being that I'm having to dial back some of my attention on the shop to devote to, finding some supplemental employment, but also because I am keeping Operation Puppet up and going, and nothing is really, nothing is changing other than some changing of focus on Operation Puppet. It means that I am kind of refocusing Operation Puppet on just the stuff I enjoy doing and the fun stuff and the, focusing on my characters and then that kind of thing. And so because I couldn't let this go, this was a fucking gift. When the story broke, I guess it was last week, about it wasn't Claw, was it Claude? It was one of the models wouldn't stop talking about goblins.
Yeah, I think it's Claude. Yeah,
and I couldn't believe when I was reading the thing. I'm like, there were specific instructions in it was Claude. To don't mention goblins or a whole bunch of list of other creatures unless it's absolutely necessary. And OpenAI even had to do a blog post about, okay, here's why goblins, right? And I was like, are you kidding me? You give me goblins and OpenAI's got a problem with goblins. I have to run with this. This is
absolutely,
there is no question here. This is too good not to. So I had to throw together a video. It didn't even. Sorry?
It is a gift.
It was. I was stunned. I'm like, are they trying? Are they baiting me now? Because seriously, how can you not? It mentioned goblins and trolls in the same goddamn post. How could I not do something with this? So I did the best I could with the 5 minutes I had to make that video. And
That was great.
it's one of the most viewed videos on the channel right now. So, yeah, the Oracle has managed to burst the bubble, thankfully.
Excellent.
So you're welcome. Yeah, okay. So that video is up and available, and yeah, it was fun. So I'm going to be doing more of that kind of thing, I think.
No, that's perfect. I like those quick ones are really.
And they're
Good,
just
easy.
they're silly, and it's like they're topical, so I can, and as long as I can bang something out and get an idea real fast, that's fun. So,
Yeah,
and they're
it's the
not hard to
beauty.
do.
It's like jazz, man. You just lay it down.
I didn't even have
Put,
a real
put it back there.
punchline, so that's why I threw in the kind of the Simpsons, my planet needs me ending.
Yeah,
So,
that was perfect.
yeah, what else is happening? Oh yeah, so related to all of this, today there's a sale. Hooray. If you go to the direct shop and the Etsy shop, but please, for God's sake, if you're listening to this, buy on the direct shop. If you're buying, please buy on the direct shop.
Yeah.
Everything's on sale. All available puppets right now are on sale. It's not a huge sale, but it's enough. Like, it will pretty much cover the shipping costs. So yeah, everything's on sale, and there's a Kermit and a fucking Robin available right now for sale. So that's happening. I have to say it. I don't even like saying. I still feel gross promoting my own business on my own podcast. That feels bad and wrong.
It's a muscle you have to develop, and
I
I
know.
know what you mean, but at least you're selling something you believe in.
It's true. I guess if you're going to sell something, sell this, right? Like, that's the thing. So yeah. Anyway, that's where we're at. So the good news is no, Operation Puppet isn't going anywhere. The focus is kind of meandering a bit, and my output of like build streams and stuff. So this was the thing I was going to wrap back around to is the next build streams. When I do them, I'm going to do some build streams where I'm working on Ortus.
Yeah.
And I have to get that done. I got 2 months to TennoCon, so it's got to get done quick. So there will be some build streams in the near future, and they're going to be focusing on Ortus because I wouldn't mind documenting some of that stuff as well, right? So,
Of course.
so there we go.
It'll make for a good video.
That's that, and I'm also thinking like, man, I hope Ortus will be a hit. I mean, I don't know.
I am very confident that it's going to be a massive
We'll see,
success.
but like, could bring some people to the channel, and that would be lovely. And God knows the Warframe content on the channel is kind of pumping up. So, shocking, huh? Okay, that will do it for the Puppet Pit this week. We're going to take an actual break, and we will be back with Pixel Town. The sky above the port was the color of a YouTube video locked behind 17 unskippable ads. Around the rainy streets, people dodged out-of-control robo-taxis and shot down delivery drones carrying $50 burgers. Here we fight the corporate ecologies and get excited about avoiding our phones. Welcome to the mean streets of Pixel Town. Welcome to Pixel Town, where we talk about tech, gaming, and all things thereunto related. Okay, we'll just go down the list.
Oh, hell yeah.
I knew. So this is actually, I want to talk about this. This is real interesting for reasons. A new game tried to kill your SSD is the headline here.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, get into the details. What do we got?
A game called Windrose, which is a very popular pirate game. A misconfigured database cache was driving writes of up to 108 gigabytes per hour.
Oops.
So, evidently with an SSD, that straight up murders its longevity, because it feels like SSDs should last forever because there's no moving parts. But it's
same thing we talked about last time with the micro SD cards, but it just SSDs are at a higher scale, but it's the same problem. Read writes will kill a solid state drive of any type.
People were noticing that the game was reading and writing large amounts of data to disk with spikes up to 30 megabytes per second when the player's character was roaming around a base. and yeah, 108 gigabytes an hour.
So it is early access. So, I mean,
Yes,
not
and
that excuses it, but
they did patch it, but this is the kind of stuff that they may not pick up.
Yeah.
Until somebody says, "Hey, what the fuck?" And it could do some.
This is really
real
interesting
damage.
because a couple of folks in the Gamers Tavern, shout out to the Gamers Tavern, I know have been playing Windrose and have been very much enjoying it. And I don't think they've noticed anything. However, they were also, I guarantee you, on Linux. So,
Well, yeah, and even then, it's not the kind of thing it doesn't necessarily heavily impact performance.
yeah, you
When you're
wouldn't, you
playing
may
the
not
game,
notice it unless you're looking for it, right?
you could just say, "Oh, it's just being chunky because it's it's early access."
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Something's pinging in my brain now. I think I remember one morning waking up and seeing a discussion about Windrose and somebody talking about, I think it may have been Alex, shout out Alex, talking about some big problem with Windrose that they
that
quickly
was it.
patched. That may have been it. So I hope that was it. I hope it didn't do anything bad to your hard drive, Alex. But yeah, that's unfortunate. But apparently the game itself is quite good, from what I understand.
Yeah, especially in the face of the abject failure of games like Skull and Bones. Is that what it's called?
Skull and Bones.
Ubisoft's massive
It is.
$200 million debacle. But Windrose just does it simple, and people are really responding to it.
And this is, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed, but like, look at the narrative just over the past, I don't know, couple of months even. Look at all of the like smaller indie titles that are like getting all the attention, right?
It's still, I agree, and I want to believe that there's attention, but it always feels like, I don't want to say an echo chamber, but like especially with Blue Sky, I get the feeling like, oh my god, this thing's doing really well, and then the actual numbers come out and it's doing terrible, and then I'm just confused because, well, but gee whiz, people that I like are talking about it. Does that mean that it's doing well? And
I can tell you that's not necessarily the case in this case, because
no, with Windrose is actively doing quite well.
It is, and also like I listen to the Nextlander podcast, and they're pretty mainstream dudes, right?
Yeah,
and so like they're talking about Pragasa and stuff like that. Like they're not there are no big AAA titles right now to talk about. This is where we're at. Everybody is scared and waiting for whatever the Grand Theft Auto thing to drop.
I will say, I didn't save it, but somebody posted the games that were coming out this week, and it was 29 titles. Like, holy fuck, that's not good, actually, to have that many games come out. I want to find it now because it was just, and there was only a handful of major releases in there, but it was insane to see it all laid out in a grid. It's just, how the fuck can that many games just be out in the wild, and how many of them have a chance in hell of making anything?
Very few have a chance of doing anything. But this is the interesting thing about where we're at right now, is because AAA is floundering so much and AA doesn't exist anymore. Like the middle, like everything else, the middle is gone, right? This is like indies have a big shot right now. And the tools to make indie games have never been more available and accessible. So it is very much the case that like a single developer, a single person can just make a game and have it be a huge success.
I'm sure a lot of these titles are single developer.
Oh, probably,
games,
yeah.
But then there's a lot of them that have fairly large ones. So the big one is, now a couple of these are early access as well. I will say a fair number of these titles. What is this? 6 by 6. So it's 36 titles. I'm not going to read them all out, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them are early access. So Subnautica 2 is the big one.
Oh man, talk about a troubled development history.
Yeah, but and again, early access has its place, and Subnautica had a notable early access launch that got it a lot of attention, but it was also extremely limited in what was there, and that was all there was for quite a while. And it still managed to hang on, and once the final game came out, it was very successful. But I just can't get over how early they're willing to release these and have nothing for months or even years in some cases, and then all of a sudden, boom, here's the full game, and you just pray that there's still an audience for it, even though people played the shit out of your what was effectively a demo.
Yeah.
But you still got to pay for these things. But so many of these are, a game like Outbound it looks like a fun little title that's hopefully wasn't a 200-person studio. But Battlestar Galactica: Scattered Hopes, that one's interesting because it basically plays out the events of Battlestar Galactica, and it's kind of a what if scenario where you get to pick different scenarios to play out as it goes and see if you can create a better outcome for the people. And it mimics the events of the series, but you get to choose how you would have dealt with the situation, and with tactical combat as much as just decision making and who to listen to and who you think is a Cylon, that kind of thing. But it looks kind of fascinating. There's a similar game that's already out for Star Trek Voyager.
Right.
You play through the events of Voyager, and you make the big decisions on which, do you take out the caretaker, or do you agree with it and let it do its thing? Anyway, it's a fascinating choose your own adventure kind of a thing, and see how it plays out. Call of the Elder Gods, which I think is a sequel to Call of the Sea, which is a Cthulhu.
Oh, right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
And these are titles that had, obviously long development time, and a lot of people put their heart and soul into it in the hopes that they'd sell 1 million copies, and some of them expect to sell 1,000 copies, and they're happy, and some people are just happy to get it out there and have a handful of people play it. But most of these, it's years of work for small developers that are look at just the sheer scale of the competition. Even Weeb stuff, there's like 4 or 5 Weeb titles in here, so there's only so many titles that these people can play. I mean, I say Weeb as a moderate derogatory term, but the anime stuff is just endless, and there's all of these games
verging on
feel
slop,
like,
would you say?
No, not necessarily. They all seem very derivative, I will say that. But it also, the fans demand a level of polish to these titles,
right?
But they also will celebrate the rougher ones as long as they have an interesting presentation. But again, these games are designed in the Japanese style, which is to say there's 100 hours of content,
right?
And it's not something you're gonna play through the story and go, that was fun. They're like, no, you got to do it again with the other character. And then if you don't have the ability to spend 100 hours in the game, a lot of people won't even touch it,
right?
And I just like, where the fuck do you people have the time? It just breaks my
I'm
brain.
sitting here. I'm coming up to 3,000 hours in Warframe, so I'm not done. I ain't judging no one.
Well, even then, if you're throwing most of your time into one title, which is where
Yeah.
most of us live now, we have our one dedicated game, and we pick up what we can on the side. But anyway, just the visual of having 36 releases inside a week in the middle of May. I mean, God. I mean, in some levels, it's the golden era, but on the other hand, that's too many games.
Well, not to drag everything back to Warframe, but I will. Recently, Rebecca Ford put up a post about like putting things into perspective about how Warframe got where they are, and she said like when we released, on 13 years ago on Steam, there was like, I don't know, 17 other titles that released the same week that Warframe did.
Yeah.
And like now there's like hundreds, right? Like
this person says there's 40 to 50 games released on Steam every day.
Yeah.
Now a lot of those are asset flip garbage games. But still,
exactly. But the whole point is like
Firehose.
the landscape is totally different now. So it's like her point was it was kind of lightning in a bottle and we're lucky to be here. It was, it was like
there's a lot of luck. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of luck involved in any of these releases, and you can put your life into it, and if it doesn't get an audience quickly, I mean, small developers, you're trying to pay 10 people, and that's still 10 paychecks that you got to scramble together every week.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to do that if you've only got one title out there and it's not getting much attention.
Not everybody's going to be a Balatro, right?
Well, that's it, and that's what investors expect these days. But if you know, and when you look at games as art, which is something that we do a lot, and when we try to say, oh, this is art, this is an experience, and hopefully, if you can get a conversation going around it, people will talk about it, and it will rise up. But you know, meanwhile, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of titles that are just never going to get traction.
Well, and this is the thing, like, as somebody who, you know, for the past 7 years has made his living out of making art, I can tell you that, like, yes, part of it is art, but there's also practicality, and like the real world is still here, and we have to deal with it. So you have to take all of those things into consideration, right?
And as we've said, the game industry has just been brutal, where you used to be able to make a living off of being a game developer, because the company would, they would have a couple of games in development, and there would be a rotation, and that was great. And then eventually, these companies said, "Oh, our new game is out, and we're going to let go of half the staff, and then thank you for your service."
Well, the model changed, right? The hashtag content era came in, and when this is one of the reasons why I cannot stand the term like content creator, because it's reductive, and it makes things into, everything you do is a commodity. So when you have that as the mindset, then the people who make the thing are expendable. Right. Yeah. It's all about the pumping the thing out so you can sell it, and then pumping the next thing out so you can sell it. And it's not about the individual moments anymore. It's not about the actual thing itself. It's about this kind of revenue generating process. Right. Yeah. And that's unhealthy and unsustainable.
It can't continue forever. So,
and we're seeing that now, right? So this is it's a weird and very interesting time in game development. I think we're going to see, I mean, we've been talking, again, we talk about this on the Gamers Tavern. Shout out to the Gamers Tavern, as I often do. But this is what the conclusions that we have come to is basically like, we're in this kind of holding pattern right now where it's like AAA is going, there's no doubt that, the GTA is going to land. That's the nuclear event, right? And then done.
The terror point for the last 2 years for any game dev. Nobody wants to release anywhere near that.
But this is the comet wiping out the dinosaurs, right? Mm. Like now the mammals, the little soft, squishy, furry things that were running around inside under the dinosaurs' feet, now they've got the chance, right? So it's all part of the evolutionary process. When something gets too big and too bloated, and just the forces of nature go, nope, right?
You want stability for your family. You take a job with EA, and it's good for a while, and then they do the purge, and then you're left. Thanks for your service. We might hire you back. And
this is what I said before on this very podcast. It's like, why, if you were a young person today who liked video games and wanted to get into video games, what would your career choice be? Would it be, I'm going to go and work for EA and not have a job in 6 months after I've moved the country, right? Or am I going to try and make a little thing and release it on Steam and see what happens, right?
And that still comes into the, people working from home instead of having to go to an office. I mean, the number of people who uprooted their lives to go to a city to work at a game dev company for that perfect job, and then 3 months later they decided, no, we're shutting that game down, and we're not going to.
The AAA studio model is done. It is done. Like, it's over, and we need a new model. And that's kind of what's organically happening right now, I think. And it's going to be real interesting to see how that shakes out. But
the gamers have to step back and stop expecting photorealistic graphics from everything.
Yeah. Oh no, that's
the extreme, right? You get the darling 8-bit versions versus the ultra realistic Wolverine game. Anyway.
Yeah. But things are changing, it turns out.
Yeah.
And not necessarily for the worse, though. That's the interesting part. We're in this weird middle phase right now, I think. And
and I don't have time to play shit. That's
the other part.
The wherewithal. I mean, I've been focusing on. So I finished Jedi Fallen Order,
Okay.
which came out a long time ago, and
Yes.
it was always on the pile, and I never got around to it. And I played it, and I finished it, and I'm like, that was good. Obviously, there's a lot of dumb shit you can go back and get all the nooks and crannies and
So
bits
wait,
and
Fallen
pieces.
Order or
That was the first one.
the first one? Okay.
So I finished that, and you can get all the extra costumes for Cal and different loadouts for the lightsaber that are cosmetic and you don't see unless you're literally looking at the lightsaber. Like, okay, that's fun, and it's silly. So and it's fine. So and I knew Jedi Survivor was a little more ambitious, so I've been playing that for a while, and I'm pretty deep into it now. And all I can come back to is the dog shit design of these levels. It's just so insane. It's like just traversing, because I love the traversal stuff. It's like Uncharted. That's what I want.
Right.
These titles is I want that fun and Uncharted style. But Jesus, it's so convoluted how these things are laid out and all these, the way they create shortcuts. It's just zip lines. Like, who the fuck put a zip line dispenser in the middle of a forest? How convenient, just dumb shit like that. There's other ways you can do these things, but they did other things like the meditation points are fast travel now, which is fantastic. So once you get it, then you can get back there anytime.
I started playing the sequel, and I actually, one of the few games I ever finished was the first one. Then I started playing the second one, and then I sold my PS5. So
yeah,
I never finished it, but
no, as I say,
one day.
I want to see how the story goes. I mean, it is always funny when they try to run stuff between other established times. So this all is in the lead up to Star Wars, basically, where the Jedi are on the run. And
there's no more nooks and crannies left in that fucking timeline, man.
Well, and that's the thing. They've created a storyline where there's hidden Jedi orders everywhere, and they're fighting the Empire on their own.
How the fuck did the Empire not find any Jedi? Apparently they were everywhere.
And Dave Filoni created the Inquisitors, which makes sense that they would have people out there looking for Jedi. But
the Inquisitors are fucking cool, man.
They are,
but it's
really stuff
cool.
that Lucas never came up with. Obviously, for the movies, he would have had some mention of something like that. You would think that would have been an interesting angle, but the story he wanted to tell wasn't about that. It was about Luke, and that was that. So, and that's fine. But it is just funny how you try to create this branching narrative that's happening during the movies that it can't contradict the films, obviously, but at the end of Fallen Order, Vader shows up to kick some ass.
Oh, spoilers!
Yeah, for a 10-year-old game. But anyway, I'm enjoying. I'd say I'm enjoying Jedi Survivor, but as I say, just shaking my head at the silly level layouts. I mean, it's beautiful. I'll give it that. It's great it's nice to just immerse yourself in these worlds that are in the universe that we still love. But as I say, when you're traveling some of these areas, and it feels Assassin's Creedy in a lot of ways.
Yeah, well, at some point you just kind of go, look, it is a video game. Yeah. It's going to get video gamey in parts.
Right? Well, and I've removed a big part of it because I've chosen to play it in story mode because I just want the story, and I don't think I can handle the Dark Souls element that they've added
thank you.
It.
No,
and it's I love that they've done that, and I'm not going to comment on how the action is because I've chosen to largely remove it, and the traversal is the only challenge, which is still moderately challenging, but it's still I can see. This boss definitely would have kicked my ass if I wasn't in story mode, and it's not punishing me for it. I mean, if you want to take away some of the cosmetics, that's fantastic, because again, the cosmetics are so silly. I mean, each planet's got its own collectible element that you can use to buy cosmetics, like different haircuts for Cal, and then different just dumb shit like different parts for BD1, the beautiful little droid that he has, which is such a great design.
The droid's pretty cool.
You can change the layout on it. Like, why would I want to change it? He's perfect. Like, yeah, but you can change the colors on it and make the head look slightly different.
No, you don't understand. He's perfect.
Oh my god. Yeah, and it's the same with like you can change the paint job on the ship.
What
Which is
is
fun.
it? Ponchos. Cal had ponchos.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
ponchos were prominent.
You can swap the poncho for full on cape and some of the
Cal is prominent poncho.
no capes.
No capes. Only ponchos.
Anyway, so I've been enjoying it, but again, it's at this point I want to get through it, and then I can start playing either a Yakuza game or one of the many Assassin's Creed titles that I've set aside.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's this? Star Fox 64. So yeah, I saw a couple things, headlines passed my way, but this again is not my wheelhouse, so I didn't really pay that much attention. All I know is that there is a Star Fox 64 quote unquote remake question mark in the works.
Yes.
What's going on there?
Did you play Star Fox on Super Nintendo?
I did.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of a revelation. It was a miracle in so many ways.
It was one of those like, what the fuck is this moments?
How is this possible?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, it's a 3D game on a Super Nintendo cartridge. It was remarkable.
Very ambitious.
Yeah, and it ran at a very low frame rate because it was running on a fucking Super Nintendo. It was a miracle on so many levels, and it was tremendous. And but it was the simple design of the characters.
So that was the first
Fox.
Star Fox. The Star Fox 64 is different.
Yeah, well, they've done. I don't even remember what Star Fox 64 was.
Oh, I do. I was one of the 8 people who had a Nintendo 64 and really enjoyed it.
Remake? So that was a remake of Star Fox as well.
I don't know that it was. I think it was a sequel. I think
They've made a couple of sidequels. I mean, then
right.
there's Star Fox Adventures.
I may be off the mark here, but I have my sense was in playing it, you were kind of expected to already know these characters.
Yeah.
So my assumption was that it was a sequel.
Yeah. The what I love is that Nintendo can say, "Oh, we're doing a Star Fox Live in 3 hours," and everybody goes, "Pardon?" Like no notice, just by the by, and just
we're Nintendo. Fuck you.
Yeah, casually drop a 10-minute look at this new game, and it's coming out in June. The wait is minimal. Please enjoy what we have done, and yeah, it's just incredible. Star Fox 64 introduced fully spoken dialogue, off the rails movement, new vehicles and characters, rudimentary on foot gameplay. It was definitely its own title. It retells the main story of the original Star Fox canon.
It was a reimagining.
Gameplay. Yes, it was. So yeah. And then they did the Star Fox Adventures on GameCube, which was a full-on 3D platformer.
Right.
And then a couple of DS games. So Star Fox Assault, which was a multiplayer kind of a thing. Yeah, so it's God bless Nintendo. Star Fox 64 3D for the 3DS, which is it's very similar.
Thank God, it's stereoscopic now.
Yeah. And then they finally released Star Fox 2, which was for the Super Nintendo as well, which is weird that it finished the game and then they went, nah, we're not going to release it. It was too late in the cycle to spend the money to make the cartridges. So then they just kind of threw it into the Super NES Classic Edition, which was the unit you could buy. Anyway,
so this is a remake.
This is a remake because it's a.
So this is for the Switch.
It's the original game,
correct?
Yes, the original game, but this one's for the Switch 2.
Okay.
Exclusively.
Totally remastered.
Yeah. So one of the things that's got people freaking out is the redesign of the characters. They basically just drop them into the Uncanny Valley. Okay. And it's extremely.
They were always pretty Uncanny Valley, I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm gonna link to the other one here.
Uh-oh. I've seen some people talking about Slippy. Apparently, is the thing. Slippy, the frog or something.
Yeah, he's very shiny because he's a frog.
He is a frog.
But somebody pointed out that he basically Star Fox himself looks like the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Okay.
Wes Anderson animated stop motion film that he did, which was brilliant. But because they had done a puppet style Star Fox reimagining at one point.
They sure
And
did.
they kind of took that and said, what if we just made these the characters?
Right. Yeah, no,
But
I can see it. I can see it.
yeah, so it's a little rough. Of course, Austin Walker posted a picture of Sonic from the first version of the movie,
Yeah.
which is very, very.
Hey, there's one here with Kermit. Who did the Kermit? Yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Star Fox.
Leave,
Anyway,
leave
it's
Kermit
a
out
choice.
of this.
And I think it's just the fact that they're too human,
Mm-hmm.
and then
They got
and
human eyes. They did the eyes wrong. If they did Muppet
Yes.
eyes, this wouldn't have been a problem.
exactly
They should have talked to me.
Yeah, they should have.
Nintendo.
Fox's vacant gaze will stare a hole in your soul.
Call me
Falco's realistic.
Nintendo. I can fucking consult with you. If anybody knows cartoony characters, it should be fucking Nintendo, for Christ's sake.
Fox's vacant gaze will stare a hole in your soul. Falco's realistic plumage is a little freaky, and Slippy is just too damn wet.
I mean, Slippy would be wet, though, because Slippy's a frog. This is the thing. They took it literally. What if Rabbit? But
The end of the trailer, they
what
showed
if Rabbit, but shaped like whatever the rabbit's name is?
Peppy.
Okay, sure.
At the end of the trailer, they show Fox's father in a cutscene where he goes to attack the Andros at his home planet and basically dies. But the design for his father is basically Star Fox with Ray-Bans.
Okay, well, sure.
It's hilarious. But it feels like a joke, but they're very, very serious. So it doesn't feel like there's a sense of humor in this, despite the fact that it's about animals flying in space. So, anyway, the good news is that it's coming out in June, and they're charging $50 American for it, so it'll be 175 Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like the speed of these.
And
things.
this is exclusive to the Nintendo 64 or Nintendo 64. Good lord, Nintendo Switch 2, I assume.
I would be shocked if Nintendo released another title that still played on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, other companies will still be releasing
that's
Switch
dead and
versions.
gone. That's
But
forget
yeah,
it.
anything from Nintendo will be Switch 2.
There never was a Switch. What are you talking about?
What's a Switch? Yeah, so it's great that they can do this so quickly, but I am not. At the same time, they also announced that the price of the Switch 2 will be going up $50, but not until September, which is quite the line for that. I mean, to say we're willing to sit on this until September, so keep buying Switch 2s, and then the price is going up at the end of the summer. So just to goose sales, I guess.
They will definitely goose sales. I mean, if people had money to spend, apparently, again, this is a sidebar, but like I won't put this in the show notes, but there was like Sony saw a huge drop off in sales of the PS5 prior to the price announcement, the price increase, and now it's like flatlined. It's like there's nobody is buying nothing. So
I mean, most people that needed one got one. I mean, it's always interesting who didn't buy one, who sat on the fence about it. And now they're definitely not going
I bought them and sold them. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm ahead of the curve. What can I say? Yeah. All right. Well, sure. I mean, I don't know. Fine, I guess. I will never buy a Nintendo Switch
like you
2,
say.
so
I'm not. I haven't bought one yet, and I don't intend to buy one. So
not for me, not my thing, not my circus, not my monkeys. But I hope those who of whom it is will enjoy.
It's certainly worth looking into, especially if you were.
I mean, Star Fox, had its. I get the feeling that Nintendo puts more weight on Star Fox than the fan base does.
Yeah.
Right. Like they think it's bigger than it is.
Also, the fact that they announced this and they had this terrible redesign, and they just put Fox McCloud in the Super Mario movie.
Well, I heard all about that because my spouse went to see. Was kind of like taken to see that movie, and apparently there's a lot of Star Fox, and it's not clear why.
Right. It's just, here's a character you recognize.
That's the whole movie, though. Here's a thing you recognize is the whole movie.
And they got a movie star to do his voice. He's voiced by Glenn Powell.
Okay.
Top Gun Maverick, and he's a good dude, but whatever. Okay.
Sure. Celebrity. Hooray.
but the character is utterly worthless in the movie. He's just simply there to be there. And so
He's
people
simply
can go,
there.
that's Starflux McCloud.
Exactly. It's there. Here, you recognize this. Eat this slop, piggies.
He's like Han Solo without a personality.
Exactly. All right. I got no segue. You should be happy that I have no segue to this,
Sometimes.
but we're going to move on. Diablo 4, and the note says Diablo 4 exclamation mark. So tell me about the exclamation mark, Andrew.
Lord of Hatred came out.
Yes, it did.
Did you finish it?
I fired it up, and okay, no, so this is nothing. This is not a comment on the game, okay? This is a comment about my headspace. I either am in a Diablo-esque headspace or I'm not. And I definitely wasn't when I fired it up and I got like, I don't know, a little bit in. In the story mode, I got to like the first, like when you get off the boat, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't. I'm just like, oh, this again. I'm just like, I was done. I was immediately done. And so, no, I haven't gone, but I will. I do want to, and I do plan to, but I have to, my brain has to switch into the right cycle to like flip to okay, you want a Diablo thing now. And when it's there, I will play it again. But
Okay.
Until then, I'm like, this again. That's where I landed with it.
So I was playing it with you in mind, in that I said, all right, so I'm going to play
We
through.
talked about this in the last podcast. I haven't seen you playing, so I haven't been playing it. I will play it. I will play it even if I'm not in the mood to play it. I will play it with you because I want to play a game with you, for Christ's sake.
This is a game that is, until you get to a certain point, it's difficult to play with somebody else.
Right.
Because now with the new expansion, you don't unlock the Herodric Cube until you get basically to the end of the story mode.
Okay.
So that was my target initially, was to just get to the point where I can get the cube, because that obviously is end game. So when I started this season, or when I started the new expansion, I said, all right, I'm going to use an Eternal character, because you've been using your Eternal characters.
Wait, whoa. You didn't clear this with me. You should have told me. I would have done this.
This is assumptions. It was bad communication.
Okay.
So
yeah.
No, you did say, I apologize for forgetting their names, but it was either going to be Becky or I can't remember your characters' names. You have two characters you roll usually?
So Kalashay and oh my God, I forgot my necromancer's name. Oh my God, it's not there anymore. It's been so long that it's not there anymore, but I know what you're talking about.
And you've also been talking about playing in the Eternal realm.
Yes.
So I just assumed you were going to be doing that for the expansion.
I probably should, but I was assuming that you were going to be in this is the problem. We've got
gift of the Magi.
We've got absolutely a loss of synchronization.
That's funny. So what threw me?
Beverly the
Jesus.
Necromancer. For
I knew it started with
Christ's sake.
So since you had said that, I'm like, all right. So normally I would roll a new character, but I said I'm gonna use the Aura Paladin that I had last season. So I started in the Eternal, and
I'm actually getting excited now. You see, because you're talking to me and we're talking about this now. I'm like, okay, fuck it, let's go.
So I because I started with my character already at that level,
right?
So the change for the expansion is that it's now the cap is now level 70 before you get to Paragon. So even though I had Paragon status, I was basically kicked back to level 60. But I already had the build pretty much done. I mean, any changes over the season, it was still a murder build at that level. So I'm like, I'm gonna play it on Torment 2, and I'm murdering everything at Torment 2.
Cool.
So I was walking through the story, and it's just kind of hilarious when they like, oh no, it's the massive boss that's coming to kill it, and it's dead. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
And this happens and at this point again, I'm like, okay, this is fine, because I just kind of want to rip through this anyway. I feel kind of shitty about it, because I like kind of languishing in these expansions, but it really, really, really feels like, as always, they just want you to get through it. And it's a good story. It's worth playing because it is a good story for where they go with the character. Um, and it's Mephisto doing his thing, and it goes to basically the Amazon islands, the Greek islands, which were in the other games as well. I can't remember. It starts with an S. I want to say Scavos.
That's close.
So it's not that.
Something like that.
Like,
yeah.
So the new expansion area is it's the islands off to the west of Nahantu. So it's a beautiful environment. I'm barely seeing the enemies because they spawn and die around my aura. But there's a lot that they've changed. So I believe because of the way that they expect the cube to be used, now it's dropping blues and yellows. Even though I'm in Torment 2, everything's still dropping blue and yellow. I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on? And I didn't realize that they're kind of pushing you. So the item levels have increased. So if you have an ancestral, and the old one is level 800, and now once you get to level 70, items drop at 850.
Right.
So, and then of course, I guess an ancestral would be 900. So technically, there's more powerful items available, but with the build I've got, it's kind of meaningless because, I'm once I got to 70 and I was able to deploy my Paragon levels, I jumped to T4 and was already still killing everything.
Right.
So in the season mode, I think it's the season. I'm pretty sure it's not permanent because now they have the torment goes up to 12 instead of 4.
Right.
So they're just increasing.
I don't know. I think that might be for all things, though. I think that might be.
Well, in the main settings, you can only choose up to torment 4. So I'm not sure how it is. I'm pretty sure it's just a season thing.
All right.
So I was still like, all right, well, and once you unlock the cube, it's unlocked for all your characters. So I'm assuming that when I start a seasonal character, that I can use the cube fairly quickly. So anyway, bottom line is I really enjoyed the expansion. It didn't take me that long to get through it. I don't feel like there's a lot of missions outside of that, and I haven't looked super hard, so I'm sure that obviously there's still little story missions to pick up and enjoy the dialogue, and they're mostly about the Amazon warriors, which is always fun. But yeah, it's and the community has been very happy.
Okay.
With the game.
That's one thing I haven't been in tune with. I don't know how, what's the response been to this?
There's been a lot of bugs, which people are obviously frustrated with. But I mean, the complex system that this game has is just insane. And so, of course, there's going to be weird things. Now, it does suck, though, when you miss out on a mythic because of a lag.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
In a level or something to that effect. I mean, that's punishing. So I haven't started a seasonal character. So there's that.
See, I have. That's the problem. I started a seasonal character, and because I'm starting at 1, I'm like, this is just a slog. I don't want to do that. If I had known you had started in the Eternal Realm, I would have started there too, and we would have.
You would have the same. I think you'd have the same experience. So if you go back and start an Eternal character, because you're not that far into it, if you're just getting off the boat, you should be able to.
It'll take me no time at all.
Then you can enjoy the story mode.
I'll grab Beverly. You said Becky, that short circuited my brain.
I know.
Beverly the Necromancer. Good heavens! I got a whole backstory. The whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Look. I'm going to do this now. You've got me excited again. You've got me inspired. Because we're actually talking about it. We should have talked about this last time. Yeah. This was just us.
Well, it hadn't. Us. Yeah. We had discussed playing on Sunday.
We probably had, but by that time I had streamed twice that day and had 4 gins. Whatever. Yeah. So I'll remember this time.
Even then Sunday morning I was.
It was a whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna poke it. I'm gonna poke it tomorrow, and we'll see where we're at.
So as I say, if you roll your Eternal and you roll it with Beverly, and you'll walk through most of it.
I think my hesitation was, maybe you have some insight into this. I was under the impression that because of all of the changes, your gear from last season or from the previous season, was basically useless now. Like
No.
Okay, all right. See, that's good. That's what I wanted to hear because like I assumed, oh, when my characters go to the Eternal Realm, all my shit's done. Like you're
I was looking at the build on what site am I using?
Icy Veins or
I got off Icy Veins. Evidently, they're kind of shit. Mobilytics. Yeah, I was using Mobilytics.
right.
Their Holy Light Aura. It only took them a few days to update because they've changed the skill tree.
Right.
The skill tree's been totally changed. Not totally changed, but they've
I do remember going. I was going. Oh wait, this is different from the thing I remember. Oh no.
No, it's you definitely have to redo the whole thing in that way, but it's for the best, I think, in the long term. Excuse me, but it kept all of the leveling up that I had done for the glyphs. So all of that was immediately applied once I got to 70.
Okay.
Anyway, and the talismans are part of it now too. I don't know if I think the talismans might be seasonal, but they could also be permanent. I'm not sure what's what.
Mhm.
Anyway, the game is still very satisfying, and the cube obviously is the big draw right now.
Yeah.
People are using the cube to great effect. It is a lot different from the way it was in 3, but
I still have no idea how it works in this. So
I mean,
I look forward to finding that out.
Yeah, the big thing in 3 was extracting legendary stuff, but I guess that's what they do now anyway, where you can imbue them. Anyway, so that would be my suggestion is roll through overly, and
that makes a lot of sense, and it makes me happy because like I want to get invested in this character, right? I don't want the character to be disposable, and that's what all of the seasonal stuff feels like. It just feels like, well, then you're done.
Your character in the cutscenes too, which is nice.
Yeah.
If anything, it made me go back and change the costume because I didn't want to see. There were certain things that looked weird, so I'm like, oh, because they take your helmet away,
right?
So you see their face. So I don't know if there's nothing for that, but I mean, they made it. She had a weird seam on her neck where the costume or where her chest piece ended, so I had to mess with that. But it is kind of cool to see your character in detail and interacting with these things. So it is good, and then once you rip through the story in the Eternal mode, then you can go and take your seasonal character and just play instead of having to play through the story.
That makes sense. I like that a lot, actually.
And that way that way you can just follow the story mode in the seasonal.
Yeah.
But all of the new stuff will be unlocked. So that seems to be the way to play it. So, and if I should also mention, Diablo 4 is part of this month's Humble Choice bundle.
Yes, it is.
But it is just the core game.
Yeah.
And you still have to buy the Lord of Hatred expansion, which includes Vessel of Hatred. So you will get all of the content if you do get the expansion. But I don't know if you were to buy. I don't know if I can even see the game now, and because I own it, so I don't think it'll show me costs in BlizzNet. But you can definitely buy the expansion if you get the if you get that. So something to keep in mind.
It's still worth having. There's a lot of game for that money. There is a great deal of game. Even if you don't ever get the expansions, there's a lot of game for that much money.
And Humble Bundle monthly is $26 Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
I actually paused it this month because I don't need Diablo, obviously, but it's Diablo 4 and Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, which is a pretty major title, and Crisis 3 Remastered, which I think I already have. But it's worth looking into. It's sometimes they get some really good titles in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there you go.
Okay, moving on. I bundled these two into the same thing because they're kind of like they've merged into one now. So the game streams have continued. It's been over a month now. Every Sunday I've been doing, it turns out, surprise, surprise, it's Warframe streams. And because they're like, as I talked about, I think on the last podcast, Sunday mornings just tend to be, I mean, I play Warframe a lot. I play it on more than Sundays, but Sunday mornings are when I do a lot of my weekly stuff. So I just turned that into my stream time for streaming games. And because I'm streaming on Sunday mornings, I'm like, well, it's church, right? So I've branded. I can't help myself. I'm a hashtag content creator and I hate it. But I nevertheless have branded the Church of Warframe now. So I spent hours, and I mean hours, last Saturday in Captura mode, which, if you don't know, in Warframe is like, you know how some games have photo mode?
Yes.
Okay. Warframe, being Warframe, went, what if that, but more? So they took photo mode and turned it into like, what if photography studio, right? So you can control lighting, you can set the scene, you can put poses, you can do the whole thing. And the thing I didn't know was you can actually advance time and animation so you can shoot video in Captura mode. So that's what I did. I shot this 120 frame per second video that was going to be broadcast or produced at 60 frames per second so I could do speed ramps in DaVinci Resolve.
Jesus.
I know. This is why it took hours, but it was a lot of fun and I think it looks really good. So I made an intro video for my Sunday morning Warframe streams, the Church of Warframe, with Cephalon Frankie doing the overdub, and I really like it quite a lot, so I've linked to it in the show notes. It's not actually listed publicly. I broadcast it, obviously, when I'm streaming, but I haven't like listed it. I haven't posted it on the YouTube channel or anything. But the link is there if you want to go watch just the intro. It's there because I'm actually kind of pretty proud of it. So it looks real good. And so yeah, those are continuing, and I plan to continue every Sunday for the foreseeable future. So that's what I'm doing. And who knows, there may be some Diablo streams being added into the mix at some point based on the previous conversation. So yeah. Warframe continues to be good. We're in the middle. We're kind of between patches right now. There's a big patch coming in June. We're kind of like between things right now. There's a new operation going on. We're doing lots of stuff. But Warframe, I mean, what can I say? As I said before, I expected it to be way done by now. It's not. It's still the thing for me. I don't know. I'm here. It's home. It's good. And it's continuing. So I don't know. What else can you say? Warframe good. Watch stream good.
Yep.
That's it. All right. Among the last two things. Right. Here we go. Steam controllers released.
It sure did.
It sure did. Boy. So we've been going back and forth on this on the Discord because they're not cheap. I'll give it that. I mean, they're also not the most expensive though. I will point this out.
No, it's not nearly as much as an Elite controller or
exactly.
anything like that.
And like what I said before on this very podcast was like the thing I want in a controller is a Steam Deck, but no screen. And that's basically what this is, right? So, man, I would love to get my hands on one of these. The thing is, A, I have no money. And B, I have all my controller needs met right now. So I don't really need one. So I didn't even try. I know some folks on the Gamers Tavern, I'm sorry, shout out Gamers Tavern once again. I know, I think maybe Alex got one, and I know somebody else, maybe Aaron, is on the waiting list for the new ones, but they sold out immediately, like within like an hour or so. They were gone. And it took Valve a little bit by surprise. They weren't quite expecting this amount of response. And that's kind of cool. That's, good. I'm glad to see that kind of response to this sort of hardware.
Well, it just sucks that so many of them immediately showed up on eBay.
Oh yeah, no, the scalpers just
$250, $300. And I mean, if you were willing to pay $250, $300 for a Steam controller, fuck you. But also, just don't let them choke on it.
There will be more. There will be
like
more.
Everything else, you don't need it. You don't need to pay some asshole $300 for a $150 item. Dumbass. Just don't fucking do it. Don't.
It's not like they're never going to make it. They're going to make more. Yeah, but thankfully, they've had a fairly intelligent response to it in that the next round, they've started to do reservations. So they've managed to put kind of a crimp in the scalping pipeline, as it were. So, like, if you want one, you can just get on the list to get the next one as they become available. So that helps to smooth out the kind of scalping thing. It's not as prominent a factor in this anymore. I would love to get one. I don't have a need for it, and I don't have money for it. So, but I am very, very interested to see people's experience with it. I love those trackpads, man. Those trackpads are the bomb.
Yeah, they are ruinous once you've tried it.
It's so useful. They finally they nailed the thing they've been trying to do for years, like with the Steam Controller 1, and related to that. So there will be another round of it. They are restocking. And this week there was reports of some import manifests with going to Valve that have game consoles as part of the manifest. And so the assumption is that Steam machines themselves are on the way imminently. So they haven't announced anything yet, but it's assumed that that's what's coming. It's either that or it's a restock of the Steam Deck, but probably it's the Steam machines.
Yeah,
are next on the horizon. So I'll be real interested to see what the pricing on those is like, because God knows in this environment, like, what are they going to have to charge for that?
Yeah, it's going to be very ugly.
It's going to live or die based on the price.
It'll sell out in a heartbeat. No matter how much they charge, it'll still sell out in a heartbeat.
I really hope so. I mean, believe me, because this is going to get Linux into more living rooms, man. That's what this amounts to. So please, Valve, if you need to take a bath, take a bath. Gabe can stand one less yacht.
but the issue that comes up, and this is across the board, if they charged, let's say $1,000, and scalpers got them and were selling them for $2,000, and people were paying $2,000 for them, then why shouldn't Valve just charge $2,000 for it? If people are willing to pay a stupid amount, then they should charge a stupid amount.
But that's the hype cycle thing too, right? Part of that is not what people are willing to pay. It's the feeding frenzy, right?
Yeah.
There isn't a reason or a logic involved there. It's just instinct.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If Valve does it, maybe they'll take a lesson from how the controller sales went and go reserve list, right?
Yeah, at the very least.
I hope.
For when the Steam machine comes out, it absolutely should require having a good standing Steam account, at the very least, for a certain amount of time. The same way Nintendo does it. Nintendo says, for a lot of these hardware purchases, you have to have a Nintendo online account for at least 6 months.
Yeah, I think they were really taken by surprise with the response to the controller. I don't think they were expecting that to happen. So I think they'll be a little bit more careful with the actual console.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the whole thing that's going on now, I'm gonna actually look at the article that I posted here. So there is a new initiative inside Microsoft, previously known as Microslop, called K2. Have you heard of K2?
Yes.
So yeah, this is the thing where Microsoft is now targeting performance, gaming performance for Windows 11 to be comparable to Steam OS with this initiative called K2. That is what their goal is. This is significant in that this is definitely a response to the Great Linux migration.
Yeah,
that we have talked about plenty of times before, so we don't have to go into it again. But this is what I keep talking about. They've pushed people so far that even some of the moderates are now going, I can't do this anymore. What else is there? And so finally, we're seeing that pushback is having an effect, right? So my note here says, even if you don't switch, you should be happy that the Great Linux migration has happened, because I guarantee you K2 would not be happening if that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
Right? Like Windows 11 would have continued to enshittify to the point of unbelievable uselessness if people hadn't gone, I can't do this anymore. What else is there? So keep pushing is my point. It works. It has an effect. And then maybe you'll be lucky enough to get like me and go, I can't go back.
Yeah.
Like there's no chance that there's no way. I can't even imagine a world wherein I would go back to Windows. Like it's that far in. And, I know what it's like to not be that. So I understand people who can't understand, switching to Linux and never going back, because there are so many hurdles, and there really are, and you do have to do a lot of work to do it. But conversely, there is the flip side of that, where it's like, once you're there, man, you can't go back. So when they've lost people, I guess is kind of my point. And they've lost a significant enough amount of people that they are having to respond now. And K2 is the thing that they're doing for that. And I mean, we've even seen that in the current news cycle with the Xbox stuff, right? Asha Sharma, who was previously an AI executive, is now like pulling back on the AI stuff in Xbox.
Yeah.
That's significant. They're going to eventually respond to the thing that people are pushing back on. So you have to push back, and you have to push back loud. You can't be timid about this stuff, and you can't be both sides about this stuff. You have to say the thing and say it loud. Otherwise, they're never going to hear you. So it's good. This thing is good. That has happened. It's good for Linux people and it's good for Windows people. So hooray for both of us. That's what it comes down to. Okay, I think that will kind of do it. We're at the end of the list, and looks to me like we're kind of at the end of the time. So yeah, after a lot of technical troubles, man, we took forever to get here.
We did it.
But we did it. Okay, thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Kevin.
I hope you feel better.
Oh, I do. I do feel better.
All right. Maybe we'll do the next one in person.
That's the plan.
That would be always the goal. So thank you, everybody. If you've listened this far, you are a champ. As always, I'm going to put my finger on the right button, and we will catch you next time. You have been listening to Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast. Visit www.operationpuppet.com for all our links. Tell your friends, give us a rating wherever you get your podcasts, and join us again, because nothing is more entertaining than aging nerds giving their opinions on the internet.